The kingdom and the power. How to savage the U.S Saudi relationship. Saudi Arabia reported that OPEC Plus, a gathering of oil trading nations, would cut oil creation's target significantly by 2 million barrels each day as the world's top exporter of the oil. The Saudis have consistently started to lead the pack in their collective endeavors to deal with the world oil market. The move humbly affected oil costs, which rose from a low from the extended time of around $76 per barrel before the declarations to a scope of about $82 to $91 by mid-November. The shock felt by Americans was more international than financial. The Biden's organizations had requested that Saudi Arabia postpone the cut, yet Riyadh proceeded it at any rate, reprimanding Washington. The subsequent recriminations among Washington and Riyadh have raised doubt about the fate of the reciprocal relationship. Because of the OPEC Plus choice, the Biden's organization reported that it would reconsider its relationship with Saudi Arabia and said the cuts would increment Russians' incomes and improve the adequacy of assets acquainted accordingly with Russia's intrusions of Ukraine. Robert Mendes, a popularity-based representative from New Jersey, promised to impede arms deals to Saudi Arabia. A few individuals from Congress presented a bill ordering the evacuations of U.S. troops from their realm. Riyadh would not backtrack. It was consistent and based simply on financial motivations, to say the OPEC Plus choice. In the mediating months, tempers on the two sides have cooled, and it appears to be impossible that the Biden's organization's current re-examinations of binds with Saudi Arabia will prompt a significant change. Examiners and eyewitnesses of U.S. Saudi issues will generally zero in on people and their plans. Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman is hard-headed and dictator, trying to revamp Saudi Arabia economy and lift his country's job as a free worldwide player. U.S. President Biden conversely has a more varied style and needs to make a majority rule government and highlights of his international strategy, revitalizing the war against Russia and China. The OPEC Plus contention focuses to three significant changes in the two-sided relationship that go past character and will have more enduring results than the activities and responses of any leaders. First, the global balance has shifted. Washington's relative influence in waning as the international order becomes multipolar, making reasonable power countries such as Saudi Arabia more likely to hedge their bets and less likely to throw in their lot with just one great power. Second, as a climate change pushes the world away from fossil fuels, Saudi Arabia is under pressure to cash in on its oil reserves while it still can, a sense of urgency that is coloring its approach to productions and pricing. Third, like almost every issue of significance in American politics, the questions of U.S. relations with Saudi Arabia has become intensely polarized along partisan lines in United States, in no small part because the Saudis themselves have made their preference for Republican clear. The grand strategic overlap that for decades defined the U.S.-Saudi's relationship no longer exists, but the prospects for cooperations on relatively narrow set of regional and economic issues remain good if both sides understand these shifts so they can reach a more realistic set of mutual expectations. Saudi Arabia became vital to the U.S. after the Second Great War, a contention that features the focal job that that oil would play in present-day military procedures and monetary turns of events. From that point forward, the world has encountered three periods in the dimensions of worldwide power. In the first, the virus war, Saudi Arabia had barely a choice yet to help the U.S. international objectives. All things considered, it could not depend on security and financial help from the Soviet Association, which supported a large number of Riyadh's territorial opponents and embraced the progressive socialist philosophy, contradictory to the moderate Islamic premise of Saudi rules. At that point, choice about Saudi oil creation stayed in the possessions of the American oil organization that fostered the Saudi oil industry during the 1950s and 1960s. Riyadh did not have the ability to manage Moscow on inquiries of oil, regardless of whether it needed